Happy New Year's, guys. Today is January 1st, 2019. It's a day that most of the population is woke up today completely hungover, feeling like crap. Unfortunately, there was probably overdoses last night and, alcoholism and all kinds of things. But, hey, maybe you just smoke weed and you don't actually drink or anything like that. Well, last night was the first New Year's Eve that I've been completely sober in about 18 years. It's just mind-blowing to think about. And one thing that I'm really grateful for is that most of my life I've kept a journal, and I've just been an avid journal keeper. I mean, I have literally boxes and boxes in my closet of all the journals that I've kept throughout the years since I was in elementary school. Now I do all my journaling on the computer, do it online, use Evernote, but I still journal almost once every day, sometimes even like 3, 4, 5 times in a day. But the one thing that I've noticed, many things that I've noticed from journaling is that I'm able to identify patterns, correlations, different patterns of ways that I've felt throughout my life. Times that I had more energy, times that I was more excited, passionate and driven. And as I look through and I look throughout my life, throughout the times that I was journaling, even if I was, productive, crushing it in business, exercising, on the outside, it looked like I was, really crushing it. And really I was, compared to a lot of people. I was always one of those people that was extremely productive while smoking weed. A lot of people wouldn't even know, that's how productive, I'm sure, many guys are chronic smokers can relate to that as well. But the one thing that, one thing that I noticed was that, I found it very hard to consistently feel a 10 out of 10. We'll daily smoking weed, getting high every day. That, and as I look back in a lot of my journal entries, I noticed that, I remember a lot of times confused why I had lost my motivation. That fire that you get inside the belly that's like, I don't know if you've ever felt it before. I'm sure some of you have about something in your life and you had a passion you're really excited about. But it was like as if that had died years ago and I just didn't get that anymore. And I remember just, waking up more dragging in the morning and getting really ineffective at following through on goals. Easy goals, I would still fall short of them. And I wouldn't make a big deal out of it because of the fact that I would just get high. You know what? It's all right, man. No worries. And blow, and just blaze. Well, in life, as humans, we like to take the path of least resistance. But it's the path of resistance that typically lead to the greatest rewards in life. Through pain and suffering is how you really truly find yourself and achieve the greatest level of happiness. And I know that sounds crazy, but as I look back on my life, and I can see how the times in my life when I really pushed myself the hardest, that I was working towards a goal, were the times, even if it was kind of stressful, because I was working so hard, those were the times that I felt the most fulfilled, the most passionate, and felt that fire alive in me because I was pushing myself so hard. But marijuana has a tendency to make it okay to not follow through on it and to not follow through with your goals. And so what I've been about is, especially since being completely sober, is creating a military mindset, like a monk-like mind, a savage mindset, and I love it. And and what I've noticed in journaling, and it's like every single day almost that I feel a 10 out of 10. That it's hard waking up early in the morning and going out and exercising. That first thing in the beginning, I was like, it'd be so much easier to go back to sleep, and at the end of the day to just smoke a joint, get high. But what I found is when I go through that, I feel just so awesome. I feel this sense of victory, a sense of accomplishment that is like, wow, you know what? I did this. And what I think you want to get to is is, at least for those that have a desire to become something more in their life and really try to find out their potential, is to get to that point where it's unacceptable not to follow through on your commitments. Where if you say you're going to do something for the day, you're going to go to the gym, you're going to do whatever, that it's unacceptable not to complete it. That whatever it takes, you got to do this. Because what happens is that builds and it becomes a habit. When you get that mindset of, hey, you know what, I committed to this, I'm following through no matter what. We're also, what becomes a habit is not following through. You're either always strengthening your willpower muscles or your will not power muscles. And what I've found is that marijuana makes it easier to say no to your goals, your dreams, and your ambitions, and you end up strengthening your won't power muscles. See, New Year's Eve is a funny time. It's a day that most people lie to themselves, and they, New Year, new me, this is going to be the year that I get that body I deserve, and I'm going to eat healthy, and I'm going to do all this stuff. What do they do to prepare? They go out and they get wasted the night before. I used to do that every single year, go party out until the wee hours. And then you wake up the next morning feeling like crap, and, and a lot of times end up putting it off. I'll start tomorrow, and then before you know it, that's your goal is the potential of your goal is completely gone, and that's why about 95% of people that set New Year's resolutions don't follow through on them. Now think about this. Wouldn't this be a better way to set yourself up for success? In your New Year's resolution would be to take that night to be sober, to reflect upon the year, to think about the year ahead, real clear, real sober, no weed or alcohol, messing with your thoughts, and then wake up the next morning refreshed, and just conquering the day. Think about it. These two scenarios. Who's going to feel better? Who's going to feel emotionally better? The one that followed through on what they said they were going to do, or the one that lied to themselves, said they were going to do something, but got too messed up, so they ended up sleeping in, and then they're pushing off the next day? Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that the person that lives from a sense of accomplishment and lives in victory. Oh, my thing fell off the mirror here. But that's going to be the person that ends up, feeling better about themselves. And after all, what is the whole purpose of life? It's arguable, but, a simple concept is just to enjoy life, to be happy. And so if you're, if you're never being able to follow through on what you say you're going to do, and you're beating yourself up because of it, then it can be a difficult road. And so this last night, I went to sleep early, or at least I tried to, but there's so many fireworks going off that I couldn't get up. I couldn't get to bed till about 2 o'clock in the morning. I tried to go to sleep at like 10 a.m., but there were so many fireworks going off, and my dog was going crazy that I couldn't officially fall asleep till about 2 a.m., but I had promised myself that I was going to get up at 6 a.m., because that's something I committed to, is getting up every single day, no days off this entire year at 6 a.m. And so when my alarm clock went off at 6 a.m., I was like, no, I didn't want to get up at all. I was like, and my brain tried so hard to convince me just to go back to bed. Just go back to bed for an hour. Oh, you got to get more sleep. You're going to get sick, or, you're going to be exhausted all day. But fortunately, I was able to trick my brain into saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a nap later on this afternoon, which I never take naps, so that wasn't going to happen. But my brain was too tired to be able to compute it and argue, so I just got up, trusting I'd take a nap later, and put on my running shoes, went for a run, did some strength training exercise out in the backyard in the dark, did some yoga, meditation, some Wim Hof breathing exercises, and then caught the sunset, sat up on my roof and watched the sunset. And then just smashed the day victoriously. I went through just crushing all my to-dos on my to-do list, and I feel amazing. I was in my journal writing about how I just feel a 10 out of 10, and how, if I had gotten messed up last night like I usually would, then I wouldn't be feeling like this. So you know what, guys, you know what, it's not, even if you smoked weed today and you smoked weed yesterday, you can just start over fresh again tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. You know what? Like my shirt says here, I don't know if you can see it, a year from now, you'll wish you had started today. Think about the person that you could become if you, gave one full year to sobriety. not getting high, not getting drunk. Don't ask it to be easy, ask it to be worth it. It might not be easy in the beginning, but think about the person you could become, how much productive, what all you could achieve, the clarity of thoughts. So guys, I wish you a happy new year, and I hope you'll come on this journey with me to change your life. And I'm continuing to doing more videos documenting my journey so you can see firsthand the journey of someone who was a chronic weed smoker, who smoked for the majority of his life, enough weed to last for five lifetimes, and the turnaround. So I'm not a marijuana hater. I think it should be legal and all that. I'm not. And I know for some people, due to their medical condition, it may be necessary. But if you don't need it, and you're just using it for recreation, challenge yourself. See if you can figure out this brain of yours. Get past that anxiety, that depression, the other excuses you tell yourself as to why you need it. See if you can figure it out on your own through meditation, through exercise, through pushing yourself so hard. So with that being said, guys, I hope you have a great day, a great week, a great year, a great month. Let's make it a great life. Happy New Year. See ya.